Hey guys, it's Takasta here again. Welcome to another video review. So today I'll be reviewing the Logitech G402 gaming mouse. This is supposed a refresh to the G400S series, but really it's a very just similar mouse to the G502, which is supposed to refresh the G500. In terms of just basic differences, very similar shape, but it is slightly different, much lighter, and does use an optical sensor, which is slightly older, found in the G100S. They also refreshed the Fusion engine to be able to withstand very, very high speeds, and also it has a pretty good optical performance. In terms of the price, this is fairly more expensive. You're priced at $59 to $69 US. I bought 499 Hong Kong. It's not extremely cheap for what you're getting in terms of the build quality, your 2-year warranty, and the kind of the technology that's built into it. I think it's okay. Personally, unless you have the dough, I wouldn't recommend like forking out for it, but if you just need a good mouse that could last quite a long time, I think this is a pretty good recommendation. In terms of specifications, maybe things to note, it has 8 programmable buttons. All these buttons are programmable from the side button here to thumb rests, and a lot of programmable buttons, 240 to 4000 DPI in 80 incremental steps. On-the-fly DPI setting changing, which is like you can do it from here. You can also change that as well. 32-bit ARM processor inside, 1001 millisecond polling rate, and Omron switch is rated for 20 mil. So everything you would expect. Very good quality in terms of the parts inside. Biggest difference in terms of the weight now, it's 108 grams without the cable, so this is very light. You're looking at a Zai Sensei kind of weight profile, different from the G502, which is very, very heavy. It's 120, 130 grams or something. Way too heavy. You want a similar shape to G502 with a slightly lower profile and a lighter mouse. This is going to be perfect. Definitely, I know a lot of people who use the 502. You might want to try the 402 out. I mean, it's a little bit cheaper. Not by much, but you might like it a lot. In terms of the shape now, it does use a 7-foot cable and also is shaped at 136 by 72 by 41 millimeters. So in terms of the size, it's very similar to that G502. However, has a slightly lower high profile. It's still very elongated feel, and also, but the high profile, maybe it's like the tip of the mouse is in the middle. So if you didn't like the G502 and thought it was too high, you might actually like this quite a lot. In terms of how you're holding it, the shape is a little bit awkward. It's not as ergonomic and straightforward as, let's say, I have my Death Adder right here, which just goes like, like how to like hold it basically. With the G402, I do feel like my hand is a little bit cramped up like this. I do have to like squeeze it because of how elongated it is, and then so it is a little cramped up like this. However, once you get used to it, you might be like it quite a lot. Like the G502 for example. However, how I use it, I guess I keep my hands quite relaxed, and then I kind of just move it like this, even though the mouse itself is quite narrow. So I can compare it to maybe like the Diamondback and the Copperhead to some extent. It does feel a little bit like that, but it is a little bit ergonomic, as this is not an ambidextrous mouse. On the right hand side, I get, in terms of the shape, yeah, nothing much else to say. Ooh, I do have to talk about this base area here. As you can see, it does stick out. It's a little stick out area, so you do feel like there's this a little bit of a space which does stick into your palm. And in terms of the buttons as well, you do feel like if you have longer fingers, my hand is 19 centimeters from the tip to the base, it might work quite well for you. So it is something you have to get used to. If you like the G502, it would work. I can't really think of any other close comparison. For the build quality, like I said, less pronounced in the G502, but I actually like this quite a lot. Doesn't have weights on the bottom, but in terms of just the overall finish, it's very, very good. I'm just very impressed. Everything you would expect from a Logitech mouse. Not braided cable. They did reinforce this area so it doesn't break as easy, this cable area right here. In terms of the scroll wheel, it is pretty light and pretty snappy. Ooh, let me push this DPI a little bit. And I'll do like a scroll wheel test so you can see how it works. But basically, from every tip to, it doesn't like go in a lot. Every dent is very, very light. It just kind of goes and stops, goes and stops. So you can go through, but it has a nice little click to it. You probably get a better sense of this from the test video. I guess you guys can check it out in a little bit. In terms of firmware, it's actually really light. This is something I do have to talk about in terms of the Fusion engine. So what happened with the older G100S is that it goes up to 2.7 meters per second tracking and it just stopped tracking. But somehow they built into the software that if it goes 2.7 millimeters, it's tracked by the sensor, but anything beyond that, the software engine will kick in and some kind of algorithm will kind of calculate everything, all the tracking after that. So it can go up to maybe 5 meters per second tracking. After it comes back down, it goes to 2.7, and you'll be working. And to be honest, people might be very, very skeptical of this, but I don't even move my mouse up to those speeds anyways. But however, I have not experienced any problems when gaming Dota 2 or doing anything like that in terms of the losing my tracking at higher speeds. It's very, very stable at all polling rates, and to be honest, this sensor G100S, I really, really like it. The AM010 has great performance at lower DPIs, and even at higher DPIs, there is jitter, but it's not very, very bad. There's very little inherent acceleration, and I think one thing I do like the most about this mouse is that it's like very, very snappy, and you do feel like you can control the mouse quite well. And just compared as far as optical sensors goes, maybe it doesn't quote unquote perform as well, the new G502 3366. However, this is one of my favorite sensors of maybe all time even. The 3050, not even the 3090 because that's quite generic, but even the 3050, I really, really liked it from the Kinzu V3. So definitely in terms of performance, I really, really can't complain. Anything else? Overall, general is quite low lift-off distance, and overall, in conclusion, you are paying about like $59 to $69 for a mouse for a G502 similar shaped. If you didn't like the shape of the G502, you might not like this mouse as either, even though it says it's a follow-up to the G400S. It's a very, very different. They like differentiating the mouse in very, very unique ways. If you like a very, very elongated kind of diamondback copperhead kind of feel, you actually might find yourself liking this mouse. In terms of the sensor, it does use a AM010 sensor. It is an older sensor, but however, with the new Fusion performance, actually increases the performance of the mouse. And pretty stable at most polling rates, and to be honest, the jitter is very, very little. Even at 4,000 CPI, pretty little jitter. So I mean, in a nutshell, it is a pretty solid performing mouse. However, I don't like the shape as much because I'm just not a fan of the shape. However, it doesn't mean that this is not a good mouse, because in terms of performance, it's good. Like the G502, I didn't like the shape of that, but the performance of that and build quality of that was very, very good. I would have recommended that, but however, a lot of the complaint was more with the shape more than anything. So this is quite unfortunate. Maybe I am just more of a SteelSeries like ambidextrous kind of fan. Maybe they don't really deserve the kind of love from me that I do. I hate on the Rival a lot because it was, I guess, ergonomic. But to be honest, it's a pretty good mouse, and I could recommend it if you're looking for something similar to G502 and with a pretty decent sensor. So overall, hope you guys liked that review. Hopefully, I'll be coming out with more reviews. Maybe I'll try once a month, or maybe once every 2 months. When I get paid, maybe I'll go pick up something when I'm bored or whatever. But hope you guys enjoyed that video. Like if you subscribe. Like if you subscribe. No. Subscribe if you like this video. If you dislike this video, subscribe anyways and dislike it. I love negative feedback. It really helps with my videos anyways. So thanks for watching, guys, and hope you guys stay tuned. Bye, guys.